I feel like there's been many points in my life where I've stood in front of the mirror going, does this work? Does this feel like me? When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I felt really happy with my wardrobe. Well, I enjoyed getting dressed then. And then for probably 20 years, I didn't. Kia ora, we are Malone Sustainable Styling. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Sienna.
And today we are talking about why getting dressed can feel so hard. Have you ever experienced that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like hasn't everybody at some point? Definitely after I had kids and my wardrobe was in that change between going from professional life, having a work wardrobe, and then going to being a mom full time. That was that one period where I really felt like my wardrobe was not reflecting me anymore.
Yeah. I feel like there's been many points in my life where I've stood in front of the mirror going, does this work? Does this feel like me? When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I felt really happy with my wardrobe. Well, I enjoyed getting dressed then. And then for probably 20 years, I didn't.
Yeah.
After that. It was like a pressure point in the morning, you know, to the point where you kind of just give up and just leave the house.
Yeah. You're like, this will do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave.
I've got no more time for this. But before we get into the topic, we always start with a check-in about what we're wearing. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're wearing?
Sure. I'm wearing this little beaded, it's like little tiny pearl necklace, and this Gregory top, which I got from a reseller, Fruit Bowl Vintage.
I love that top on you.
It is one of my favorite tops. I love this color. I love that it's like 90s, but a very clean version of 90s.
Yeah, I really like the twisted neckline detail. And the color is amazing on you.
It's kind of like a chartreusey, soft chartreuse.
Yeah.
And then I've got a pair of jeans on that I've been living in lately. I got them at Recycle Boutique, and I had the lady that I go to get my clothes altered, I had her trim them to be more of like a cropped length, and I just love them.
Yeah, they're really
so
good
comfortable.
Too. What are the jeans? What brand?
They're Citizen for Humanity, and I like saw them on the rack. I always scan the racks for brands and fabrics when I'm in op shops or consignment, and I saw the Citizen for Humanity tag, and I was like, because they're really nice jeans. They retail for like $450.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an American brand, and so I saw those, and then they had a button fly, and they had kind of that like boyfriend kind of vintage Levi look to them.
Yeah, right.
That I always admire on other people. And then I was like, I'll just try them on.
Yeah. Nice.
I bought them.
And can you tell us about your earrings?
Oh, yeah. And then I got these from Monotone Repeat, and they're a vintage, I'd say they're like 80s enamel with a cream enamel in gold plated.
Can you show the camera a bit closer? Because they're so cool.
And I think I probably get, 90% of my jewelry from Monotone Repeat.
She's got very good vintage jewelry. Very good. We'll tag her in the show notes or somewhere, and gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's got such a good eye for it. And also for like repurposing vintage jewelry into new jewelry, the beads and things. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I am wearing a purple shirt, button-down shirt. It's like a vintage men's one, so it's got a nice sort of slouchy feel. Full disclosure, this morning was hard. My kids fought. I made them walk to the end of the street and back holding hands. They didn't want to. There was, it was not smooth sailing in my household this morning. I'm a single mum, so, you know, getting everything ready and trying to deal with their moods often means that, like, just chuck something on that's comfy and simple and you know will work and get out the door. And so, wearing this vintage men's shirt in a colour that I love. Makes me feel so good, this colour. And then I've got they're quite new jeans. They are high-waisted. They are a wide leg. And I think they're really nice on my bum.
Bum shot.
That's why I got them. I'm not going to lie. I got them because of the bum. But they are
G-Star original raw denim.
They're G-Star original raw denim, and they are a very comfy, nice fit.
Yeah.
And I feel like they they are a good mix of casual and dressy in a jean, which is nice. You can't get the full effect because of landscape filming. And then just a grey belt and these earrings, which I really like the colour of. They're a very light kind of brushed silver.
Yeah.
Kind of an unusual metal colour.
Yeah.
And they've got little cutouts of stars and moons. Is that right?
Yeah. They're a little bit Western.
Yeah, they're a bit Western,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah.
I like my jewellery to either be like a little bit Western or a bit celestial, and this does both. So perfect.
And this color is so good. It's like, how would you describe that color? It's
like a kind of soft lilac.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit more red based than blue based. Yeah. So it's good, like neutral in terms of undertone, but leaning cool. And it's light and soft, which is perfect for a summer like me. Okay, let's get into the podcast.
Okay.
I think getting dressed is something that feels like it should be really simple. Get up, put clothes on, leave the house. But for so many women, it's not. And that's what we hear time and time again from our clients, is that it's become a stress factor.
Yeah.
And it's at the start of the day.
Yeah.
You don't want to start your day with a stress factor.
I would say, well, I mean, our clients are coming to us because they have this problem of getting dressed and they want it to feel like them and they want to feel confident in their clothes. But also, even from the clients that aren't coming to us for styling help, they're coming to us for color analysis, we still hear it probably 90% of the time that they have trouble getting dressed.
Yeah, and it can show up in a few different ways. It might be like, I'm finding it hard, I'm finding it stressful, I don't feel like I've got anything to wear. Or it could be more subtle, where they're just saying, I don't feel that good in my clothes. Like I'm just chucking clothes on and going and meh. Like it's not, it might not be like this big stress, but it's something that's not making them feel great either. I think that's just as problematic.
Or it's like they're feeling lost. Like they're like, I don't know what I like. I don't know where to start. I don't know what colors to reach for. I don't know what style. Like there's a real confusion around it.
Yeah, and a deep sense of frustration and overwhelm. And those are horrible feelings. They just sort of eat away at you. Like I'm really putting myself back to days when I have felt this pre-implementing the work that we do with women myself, really feeling like itchy inside my own skin because it just isn't working. And it's that frustration and that overwhelm of, I don't know where to start, what's going wrong here, why don't I like these clothes, who even bought these clothes?
Regret, why did I buy that just because it was on sale?
Yeah, exactly.
And then people end up buying more and more clothes to kind of fit this void of not having the clothes they want.
Yeah.
And then you end up with a whole closet of clothes that you don't identify with.
I think naturally, if you feel like you've got nothing to wear, the solution that you come to is, well, I just need different clothes. And so you buy more clothes. But that's actually not usually where the problem lies. Most of the time when getting dressed feels hard, there's usually a few things that are happening underneath that.
Generally, it's not about not having enough clothes. It's that you don't have a blueprint to work with.
Yeah. And your wardrobe might just not be set up to support your life right now. It might be stuck in a previous version of yourself.
So instead of asking, what do I need to buy? You need to ask, why isn't this actually working for me?
Yeah. What's not working? Because what do I need to buy? That's still a useful question. But after you know why it's not working and where things are going wrong in your blueprint. Yeah.
It's almost like going to the grocery store and just buying a bunch of stuff, but not having any purpose behind what you're buying.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'm not a meal planner, but having, okay, you need stuff for breakfast. You need stuff for lunch. You need stuff for dinner. You need those bases to put together a meal.
It's like going to a grocery store and knowing you need yogurt, but you haven't thought about what meals the yogurt is going to slot into. Yeah. So there's a few underlying causes that might be making it feel like it's really hard to get dressed. The first one is that you have a problem with the blueprint of your wardrobe. And when we say blueprint of your wardrobe, what we really mean is that you have some kind of plan in place for your wardrobe. So you're not just willy-nilly buying things, but you are consciously purchasing clothes that are in styles you like, are in cuts feel good on you, are in colors that work on you or you enjoy wearing. And that might come across in your wardrobe as you have a lot of pieces, but nothing really connects with each other.
And it could show up as you have no repeatable outfits because you're not buying with a plan. There's no intention behind what you're purchasing. So when you're getting dressed in the morning, you're trying to make these pieces work together, but there's no cohesion.
And that's kind of the other symptom, is that everything requires effort. Getting dressed requires effort. Thinking of combinations every day is requiring more effort than it really should. So those are sort of the symptoms of your blueprints not working. The plan for your wardrobe isn't cohesive in the way that it could be.
Yeah. And it sometimes shows up as, like, we have clients come and they say, my closet, like, it's full of clothes, but I feel like I've got nothing to wear. It's actually preventing me from going to social situations because I don't know what to wear and I feel anxious about showing up not dressed how I want to show up. And to me, that is really, it's hard to hear it from clients because you're like, you're amazing, you're such a cool person, and you don't want, people to not want to go socialize and be themselves with their friends and family.
And feel like they can forget about what they're wearing and just enjoy the moment because they know that what they've got on is reflecting them and making them feel good. And so then you can kind of leave the outfit behind in a way mentally and just focus on the people you're with. And we say it again and again, wardrobes, really good functional wardrobes, they're not about having heaps and heaps of options. They have reliably good combinations. So it makes getting dressed from head to toe easy.
Yeah. And I feel like pieces, like I was saying before, are very intentional. They're very considered. So you don't go out and just buy anything that, on a whim. It's like, I want a navy skirt in this cut, in this fabric, because I know it works for me and I am going to feel really good wearing this and it's going to go with heaps of stuff.
And that doesn't mean to say that you can't buy pieces that you love and are special, right?
Right.
Because if you've got a strong blueprint in terms of knowing cuts, colors, details, like in terms of style details, the artistry of it, then when you're purchasing those really special pieces, if they're ticking those boxes, they're still going to integrate really well.
Yeah.
And because we're both vintage lovers, we work a lot with people who do like to collect things. And it's not about not being able to have a wardrobe full of arty pieces and moving to some bland capsule. It's not that at all. It's just knowing your personal blueprint.
Yeah.
That's going to make your wardrobe cohesive.
And I think both of us are naturally what we would call like magpie shoppers. So we see a piece and we're like, and we want to collect it like a magpie. And we still have those pieces in our wardrobe. But it's now, like you said, recognizing, is this one of those pieces that I'm buying just to collect because I like collecting 60s vintage especially? And sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm going to collect this. I know it's not going to be as functional in my wardrobe, but it's like me collecting stamps or something.
Yeah. It's almost shouldn't be in your wardrobe, but it's in like an archive.
Or hanging.
Hanging on the wall.
But I think recognizing when you can collect those pieces of vintage and they'll actually slot into your wardrobe because you're like, this is a really great color. I love this color. It's going to go with everything, but it's still ticking the box of being a magpie piece. The second thing that might be making getting dressed harder than it should be is that your life has changed. And we see this all the time with our clients. Either they've had a divorce, there's a job change, they've had children, they might have had weight loss surgery, a number of things could be going on. But the person you were before is not feeling like the person you are now. And it takes a long time for your wardrobe to catch up to that new person.
Yeah.
So usually, from what I've seen working with clients, it's the very last thing to change in your life or to be like an outward display of that change.
Yeah, and that can really create a strong sense of dissonance if you are this new person or this altered person, but you look in your wardrobe and it's like it's an old identity frozen in time. And with clothes, you can really see it too, because you see like styles shift or things like that. So if you're looking in your wardrobe and there's a lot of, it's heavily like 2005 or whatever, and that might be fine because your identity still matches that. But if it doesn't, then it can sort of feel like you're trying to resuscitate a corpse.
That's a really good analogy.
It's not you anymore. And you're right, it is often the last piece to make that change. And it doesn't even have to be a big event, I would say, either. It can just be getting older.
Yeah.
5 years have passed and I feel different. I look different when I look in the mirror. Yeah. And, maybe there's a different side of my personality that I'm really exploring or has come to the fore for whatever reason. But then you want your clothes to reflect that part of you. Yeah. Maybe I feel more sassy at 42 than I did at 37 or whatever.
You're 41.
It is. I know. Oh. No, I'm not talking about me. Although, my son did ask me today how old I was, and I said, I don't know, 42. And he went, no, you're not, Mum. You're 41. I'm like, well, one, why did you ask me if you know? But also, yeah, I've lost count. Often it is big life changes. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes our confidence levels just change too.
Yeah.
For better or worse. And we want or need our wardrobe to support us there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like we hang on to those old, like that old part of us. And it's like cutting your hair. It's like for some reason, it's really hard to detach from it and be like, okay, I'm going to not even start new, because it's not like you have to build a whole new wardrobe, but change that part of yourself, because you're like, what if I don't like it? I don't know how to start new. Like there's just so many like things going through your head that make people stay stuck.
Yeah.
But like you've been saying about getting older, I've really been feeling, I don't even know if I've vocalized this to you, but you've probably just seen it in my appearance, but like I feel like as I'm getting into my mid 40s, I feel like I'm having a real shift in my style.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I can see how my style is so intertwined to my personality. In certain aspects, I'm wanting to like that to come to the forefront more. But like, and lately I'm really attracted to like super clean lines.
Yeah, you have mentioned that. You feel like that your classic is getting more pronounced.
Yeah.
The classic part of your style personality blend.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be boring, because classic can lean very conservative.
Yeah.
And it's hanging on to those other bits of my style personality. But I definitely noticed there's been a shift lately.
Yeah.
And that's why having a blueprint, going back to the first point, if you've got that blueprint and you feel that shift in yourself, then it's easy to implement that change and be like, I really want to embrace the clean lines. I really want to embrace this polished feel. So I'm going to integrate some more of these pieces, or I'm going to combine the pieces in this way so it looks more clean. Still working with the same pieces.
Yeah, that's why we really rate the archetype system that we use, because it gives people a more complete view of their style personalities and how to shift when, because everyone talks about, my style's evolved. And this allows for that evolution without going back to scratch, to square one, because we don't do that. We don't actually go back to square one.
Yeah. And our personality doesn't change that much, the core of our personality.
No.
And because our personality is tied to our style archetypes, our style archetypes don't change that drastically over time.
No.
They may switch places, they may evolve, like you said, but they're not going to completely
No.
go from like you being classic to you being, I don't know, like boho or something, you know?
Yeah. The third underlying cause that can make it feel hard to get dressed is decision fatigue. If you have a lot of these pieces that don't connect, if you don't have clear go-to outfits that you feel good in, and you are feeling like you're starting from scratch every morning, that is overwhelming and exhausting, and decision fatigue when it comes to your wardrobe is real.
I think this really connects to the first one and what we see in clients with them not wanting to go to social gatherings and things because they're so overwhelmed and this anxiety creeping in with it.
Yeah. It's too overwhelming and exhausting to try and put things together.
Often you stand there in your closet, you're trying things on, taking things off, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, it's not that you don't have anything to wear, it's that you don't have anything easy to wear. It's too, your wardrobe is making too big of a demand on you every morning. So to sum up the issues, this feeling of why is it so hard to get dressed is generally a combination. You likely have a problem with the blueprint for your wardrobe, which is creating overwhelm. There's too many things and they're not coming together. You might have an identity mismatch. So your wardrobe actually doesn't contain pieces that reflect who you are anymore. So that creates disconnect. And then if you have both, it's increasing that decision fatigue, which is exhausting. And that's why it feels hard to get dressed.
When getting dressed feels hard, it's usually a combination of those things that we mentioned, and they're just quietly building underneath. And we see this a lot. It's really common with our clients.
So what can you do about it? Well, one thing you can do, which is really simple, is to create 3 outfits. Just one day, spend a bit of time putting together 3 outfits. One for days when you know that you're going to be running around doing a bunch of errands. One for days when you are maybe doing something social, but it's casual. So like an easy, casual, going out kind of look. And then one that's a bit more dressy. Just 3. Don't make like a bunch of options for each. Just come up with 3. And then for those days where maybe you are experiencing that decision fatigue, you just fall back on that outfit that you have spent a bit of time on making and you know really works for you. This will also help really build the muscle of working with outfit formulas, because you might start to see something similar across those 3 outfits in terms of silhouette or the pieces that you're putting together, or it might be colors that actually I can see that there is a bit of a palette here that I like. But it's doing 2 things. It's giving you a very simple bank of outfits, and it's going to start triggering outfit formulas for you.
And you might start noticing, okay, I don't like wearing a lot of pattern. I like to rely more on solid colors. I like the tops to have more structure, like just little things. Try to pick up on those details.
And also then you can, you know, once you've sort of worn that outfit a few times, you might go, okay, well, I'm just going to stick with that base for the running around outfit, for example, but I'm going to change out the top or something like that. But I think if you are in this space, then you want ease, and ease doesn't come from numerous options. It comes from reliable, repeatable outfits.
What would be your go-to like errand outfit?
I'm wearing one of them right now. This morning was hard. A color I love in a relaxed shirt with some really good jeans that I know really work for my shape, and that they create the silhouette, because this is just essentially a big sack but tucked in. It creates the silhouette. A belt and some earrings that I love and comfortable shoes. Mine are these saltwater sandals. I wear them so often. But yeah, so this would be one of my bases. Another would be like a midi length A-line skirt, a top that has a bit of detail to it, like a little bit of lace, something like that, and boots. What about you?
This is one of mine that if I am if we're working on the weekend, like on a Sunday, we've got kid stuff on and I need to get out the door quick. It'll be a top in a color I really like that's usually tailored, and then a necklace, or a pair of earrings, a belt, always have a belt, my gold shoes because they add a bit of like interest and detail, and a good pair of jeans. Yeah.
I think your other one would be a mini skirt.
Oh yeah.
Boots and a fitted top and a vest.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, I would say that.
Maybe.
I definitely love a mini skirt.
I think it's important that we make it clear that this is so ubiquitous. We see it every day. Everyone experiences this. It's not uncommon for women or men to feel like they've lost clarity in their wardrobe.
So it's not about starting over. It's about realigning what's already there and focusing on the good bits that are working in your wardrobe.
Because you'll already have things that do work and that reflect your preferences, and then there'll be a bunch of stuff that doesn't, and it can be hard to spot that, but that's what we do. We're used to we know the questions to ask, we know the signs to look for, and the patterns in a wardrobe, we can see them really easily. And so it's actually about just refinement, really, and clarity. Yeah, rather than starting from scratch.
Yeah. Everybody deserves to have a wardrobe that truly reflects who they are and is unique to them. It doesn't look like a cookie cutter version of something they've seen, on the internet or something.
Yeah, or they're just struggling along without it working. Personal style and the ability to feel good when you step out of your door is not something that is just for celebrities or wealthy corporates. Everybody is worthy of that. And
when clients come to us, sometimes they'll say, I'm not the type of person who would go to a stylist. And I totally understand that because I relate to that. Like, I wouldn't have gone to a stylist. But now, having implemented all the work and working with so many clients, I'm like, it makes so much sense. I mean, you go to a dentist, you go to a physio.
A mechanic.
And it's like, you go in, you get it sorted, you get the blueprint, then it just makes your life easier and you feel good. And clothes aren't trivial. Like, it makes you feel good in yourself to have a wardrobe that reflects you.
Yeah.
So why just feel mediocre in that?
Yeah. It actually does have a big impact on your mental health. And, I mean, there's endless studies into enclosed psychology, is what they call it, I think. But yeah, whether it's just getting a color analysis so that you've got confidence in what colors you're getting and you feel that boost, that glow up, or if it's getting some like hands-on help with how to shop, all these things, they make a real difference. And it's so lovely for us to help women in particular, but both men and women feel more confident again.
Yeah.
And they can step out into their day feeling supported in what they're wearing and good about what they're wearing and good in themselves and their own skin. We hope that you enjoyed this podcast and it's given you something to think about in terms of what might be lying underneath, why it feels hard to get dressed. If it did resonate with you, then send us a DM, comment here, check out our website, any of those good things. And getting dressed can feel easy again. You just need to have a wardrobe that's working with you instead of against you. And please subscribe to the Spotify channel, to this YouTube channel, follow on Instagram or TikTok, wherever you're getting this message, so that we can keep bringing you this kind of content and sharing our experiences as personal stylists.
Hopefully it won't be so long before our next podcast, and you will tune in then.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Ka kite.
Ka kite.